Yeah, Tony, we're waiting on the live look-in crowd, so that is the pause here.
Well, Lenny, that's good because I need Billy Rebar down here. So wherever Billy Rebar is, I know he's always doing everything here at Jennerstown. Wherever Billy Rebar is, I need him down here because he has a very important job here in a moment or two. So, Billy, wherever you are, come on down here. We get to talk and do fun things and stuff like that. So, Billy Rebar, wherever you are.
Welcome to Pennsylvania, the state which spawned American independence. It's home to our first capital in Philadelphia, and more recently, the site where we are reminded how strongly ordinary citizens believe in American values. "40 individuals fought back against evil never before seen. Much like those who have fought in foreign lands against foes unknown, those citizens also paid the ultimate sacrifice and are immortalized here at the Flight 93 Memorial, just a short distance from Jennerstown Speedway. While we race this weekend, let us, like the heroes on Flight 93, never forget nor take for granted the American experiment and what our forefathers and those who followed them sacrificed and idealized in order to establish what we know as the United States of America. We still hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And while today our pursuit of happiness may involve race cars and $20,000, let us continue with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence to mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor as we continue to honor and defend the United States of America.
This racetrack, it seems like it has like the corners are so long. You just consistently carry so much momentum. Like it's funny, you let off the gas a lot, but you don't really slow yourself down a whole bunch. So like you'll see it in the video here. Like we come up off the wall, you just roll. I mean, when you get back to the gas, you get back to the gas hard. And these big motors here, you seem like we ran a pro last year, and it's like you carry so much more speed than you do the pro, and you even roll more than the pro. It's a lot more friendly, driver friendly, it seems like, with these supers and the pros. So I'm excited to get out there racing. I'm curious to see how it races. We get on the flat off floor, it seems like we carry a lot of momentum, so I think that'll be big key for us for come race time.
What about coming into the bump in turn 3? What about?
Yeah, you like if you watch me, I mean, you probably can hear I hit the chip and roll through it. You kind of got to work your way through it, around it, one way or another. You got to just make your car happy through that bump. And I mean, Garrett unloaded yesterday, and he's like, man, that bump is just so tough to deal with. And it is, especially if you can't really get through it. Like you see the 5 car there, he kind of carried his speed like through the middle of it. And I think that's going to be the wrong way to get through. You kind of got to work up the outside, the bottom, or drive all the way through it, and then lift after you get through the bump. Because when you lift on the bump, I mean, you're going to bottom your car out, upset everything. So you can actually see where I float through it and kind of make it around it.
So you're saying Jennerstown Speedway has a lot of character?
Ton of character. It's a racetrack and ton of speed. Like I said, I mean, we were hauling the mail here down the straightaway. So I'd be interested to see what the radar gun would say. But the walls you get right up close to the wall and carry so much speed in and through the corner and plant it up off. So ton of character, gonna be a good race tonight. That's for sure.
Well, welcome back to those of you on Cars Tour TV. We have got the field gridded for $20,000. Next to me, Billy Rebar and his sons. Billy is the promoter of the Jennerstown Speedway. One of the unsung heroes. He runs around this place like a chicken with his head cut off and still has energy at the end of the night. A lot of people don't understand what this man does for this racetrack, the racing community, and the community in general here around Jennerstown and Somerset County. And this is one of the few nights a year you get a chance to sit back and, relatively speaking, relax. So before you get to enjoy a 200-lap, $20,000 to win Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour Super Late Model feature, I'll let you and your sons get this thing started.
Drivers, start your engines!
And just like that, we are off and rolling. Lenny?
What a cool deal for those young race fans. Certainly their father working his tail off for the entire community here. And a beautiful night at Jennerstown Speedway. Cars Tour has 200 laps ahead of us for us. Wow, are we going to see something? Josh Berry, I don't know where he got the speed. He wasn't that fast earlier, found it in qualifying and put it on the pole. Carson Quaffle, kind of expected good things from him. Corey Heim, the winner from Pocono and Daytona in the ARCA Series. Matt Craig, Stephen Nasse, Derek Griffith, Albert Francis, Sammy Smith, and we haven't even said Bubba Pollard because he's not in the top 10. He's 11. How about that field for you? You don't need 40 cars to just putt around. When you've got the cream rising to the top out of this, it's all that it takes. You're going to see some fantastic action. Craig, Quaffle, Heim, Berry, Nasse, Griffith, Smith, Francis, Seneker. I mean, Matt's down there pit side. Hey, Matt, remind us why we were excited about Seneker. Can you hear us, Matt?
Oh man, this is so exciting. This is unreal. What a great way to spend your part of your 4th of July holiday weekend here at Jennerstown Speedway on Pick TV, on Cars Tour.tv. My goodness, I am so excited. I cannot wait, Lenny.
How about Seneker? What do you have on Seneker? Seneker. Terry Seneker.
Yes. One driver to keep an eye on is Terry Seneker Jr. He starts inside of row number 5. He's a veteran of the long distance races in the Outlaw Super Late Model Wars. His uncle, a former winner here at Jennerstown Speedway, the legendary Bob Seneker. Terry Seneker Jr. would love nothing more than go to victory lane here at Jennerstown Speedway 27 years later after his uncle did back in '94. That wonderful ASA race with him and Joe Knott come across the start-finish line to take the checkered flag. Lenny?
And that is something. Matt Preer making his way over here from Ohio and Michigan, where he works all the tracks over there. I knew he'd have some gold in the Seneker world, and sure enough, he did. He is showcasing that knowledge and bringing the house down. Josh Berry in the 96 going to start on the pole. Won at Martinsville, Virginia in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Got his first Cup ride for Spire Sports earlier this year. And we are set to see him roll off behind a former NASCAR Truck Series champion son, Travis Quaffle. Wild in those 600 Outlaw carts that you see so many of the folks running down there at the track in North Carolina. Corey Heim, as we mentioned, winner of the ARCA Series. Matt Craig has won just about every late model season-long title there is. He doesn't need to prove anything. He proves it through years and years of winning, all the way back to his Legends car days in that 54 car. The 12, I saw a Kyle Busch shirt. Anybody a Kyle Busch fan? Well, you're going to be watching Derek Griffith, the 12-car driver, as he's got a Kyle Busch truck ride coming up shortly. And then Stephen Nasse, he says he comes to win and dominate, and that's what he wants to do. So those are the top half dozen or so. Back there in the 26, Bubba Pollard, the defending race winner of this event. What's he been up to? Well, his family brought back the dirt track in Sonoa, Georgia, a legendary course down there. His grandfather built it and such, and Bubba stuck around most of the season to get that thing back and up into first rate standards. They're going to host a big, huge race down there, 50 grand or something for dirt guys. But Pollard said now's the time to go back out, and really one of his first big races was to come back here to Jennerstown. How cool is that? The 5-car, Garrett Smithley, a Cup Series driver from here in Western Pennsylvania. The field is full of them. Albert Francis, the 33, the Rack Hunter Machine, champion here at this track at Jennerstown. And we are going to see him. Look at this up on Cars Tour TV, right from the back of the pace truck. One of our videographers. And we're catching it all here on Cars Tour. Now we go above with the drone shot. So you went from the back of that truck on the left part of the screen to above in the drone shot. And the white car on the inside, that is Josh Berry on the inside pole position. Quaffle to his outside, and those others that we have mentioned behind them, they'll gather the field and make them condense a little bit more. But American Freedom 300, the American flag coming out of the cars. And Josh Berry and Travis Quaffle extremely proud to be the ones to showcase the red, the white, and the blue. Going by the Cars Tour official, Brandon Willard up at the flag stand, and there is Barry in the 96 and the 35, the Keen Parts 35, CorvetteParts.net of Travis Quaffle's son, Carson Quaffle.
Want to say hello, Lenny, while we're watching the pomp and circumstance here in this one, and a gorgeous sight it is, to Brian Day watching around the Orange County, North Carolina area. Nick Bronson in Concord, North Carolina.
Bubbles.
Yeah, you know, Bubbles. Josh Arterbury, I guess, cheering on Josh Berry. He's on the Molly Pistons pole for this one. Going to be a dandy. Oh, yes. And those of you watching on social, this is a free preview. We're going to give you the first 25 or so laps, give or take.
Yeah, but it's 200. How are they going to get to watch the other part of it?
The address on the bottom of their frame, Lenny, www.carstour.tv. You don't want to miss it. 20 grand on the line. Josh Berry's second ever super late model start with a tour. Put it on the pole. Got a great race car. Deep in the field is Bubba Pollard. I mean, there's some again, we saw it in the Martellus Pharmacy prelim. Going to be some comers. Going to be some goers. We are set to give away $20,000 here tonight.
How patient does Josh Berry have to be? Does he just go ahead and fall to the back and not try to get all the speed out of that car? What strategy are any of these racers going to be on? As you see the sun setting here from Somerset County, Pennsylvania. Lights still on, the flag's still in the vehicles. They'll get them, the flags are coming out of the vehicles now as the official about to get the one from Josh Berry.
Probably some people coming out, too.
Yeah, I think yeah. Out of the pace truck, we got the flags, got our videographer. Is that Trey?
That's Trey.
Wow. He worked all day yesterday down in southern North Carolina, drove all night with our director, AC4.
Got in about 4 in the morning.
Yes.
That's dedication.
There he is. Look at that.
What a man. What a man.
Big Mark Martin fan. He's got a 6 badge on his necklace there. And look at Preer right there with their team.
Yes, they are. So the field is getting set, ready to go. Some shout outs to some other folks on social. Josh Bullock saying OCS, his home track. We love going there. We were there back in April for the Old North State Nationals. He's cheering on Josh Berry and Bubba Pollard. Jacob Gerald looking forward to seeing us at Motor Mile Speedway in, well, 2 months' time. Going to be here, no, month and a half's time.
Rusty Wallace's track.
Yeah.
Rusty owns that track now.
Well, he's a partner, I think, somehow.
Yeah.
Enough.
Hey, look at the super late model point standings. Carson Quaffle, Matt Craig, Jeff Batten, Justin Kreider. And, we had quite a bit of fun with those two in our qualified. TJ Duke, who is not in attendance, Cody Connor, Ryan Moore, Garrett Hall, Sammy Smith, and Jeremy Barclay.
Of course, Craig and Quaffle, the top two, probably going to be two of the biggest threats to win here tonight. Update from earlier this evening, we're down 3 degrees Fahrenheit to the mid-60s. Light west wind, and that humidity going up a wee little bit as the temperature drops. But one thing that says, Lenny, it is a perfect night for racing and a perfect night for a hoodie, maybe, especially here in July.
And they've got those hoodies at the Cars Tour Souvenirs and the Jennerstown Souvenir area back behind us.
That they do.
So schedule hoodies, Jennerstown Speedway Complex hoodies, hats, you name it.
They've got on demand for this race if folks are just tuning in, if they've missed the 100-lapper?
Yeah. CarsTour.tv, the address at the bottom of the screen.
There you go.
There you go. It's like we've got it all there or something. just a hint. So the Jennerstown Speedway pace truck, this time by, will extinguish the lights as they pass the flag stand. And in the flag stand, to give the green flag, former Army veteran Emery Miller be waving the green flag with Brandon Willard's assistance. There you see him down the flag stand. As Brandon gives him the 1-to-go signal, Lenny, we are moments away from giving away $20,000.
I like
200
that,
laps.
I like that Brandon's got the white flags, the white gloves, so when he raises a finger or two to tell the drivers information, they could see it in the night sky. That's why he's got white gloves on. That is to communicate more clearly to the drivers who have to look up and see what it is.
So here we go. The Jennerstown Speedway pace truck will make the hard left-hand turn through the KRC Power Steering start zone. Former Army veteran Emery Miller waves the green flag, and the American Freedom 300 is underway. Already in the outside wall, that is Ethan Myers, and somebody did not go on the start, Lenny, and they stacked up, and Ethan Myers' race has lasted all of one corner. He has put the window net down, meaning he is signifying he is okay. But
ripped the right front right off. You could see the wheel still connected to the hub and some of the braking area there, right below our new turn 1 camera zone. Oh, that had to be quite a shot for that videographer.
Yeah, that tower's a great spot until something like that happens, and it'll check your dedication in a hurry.
Well, he didn't jump off the back, so he's still shooting up there.
Was there once in a modified, had a throttle stick here a couple years ago, and got showered with pieces. Here's what happened on the restart. Let's see if we can see what happened.
Towards the back of the pack there.
Oh, Derek Griffith missed a gear, it looked like.
Yeah.
Sammy Smith got all up underneath him. Chris Davidson able to get woed up, as was Garrett Smithley. And then poor Ethan Myers got in the back of Cody Connor, and wham, right in the outside wall. Tough break for Ethan Myers. Pulled that car out today as a late addition to the entry list. And unfortunately,
he's the last car on the high side of the racetrack. So all this stacking up behind Griffith, and then it continues to stack towards him, an accordion, and he gets spun into the wall. Or slides into the wall.
Yeah, couldn't get woed up quick enough. You saw the hood was already bowed up from where he got into the back of Cody Connor. And I don't know if something broke then and that sent him further into the wall, or if simply at that point he was on the brakes or something on the tires, don't know. But the good news is the Jennerstown Speedway safety crew is there, and they'll be working to get him out of the race car, but that's not the way you want to see the American Freedom 300 begin.
Red flag, and these do or don't count as, no red flag laps, obviously.
And technically, we didn't even start. We didn't get a lap completed, so we'll consult with timing and scoring, but by rule, I believe this will be a complete restart. So hopefully Derek Griffith can get a chance to diagnose what the issue was in the 12 car. And I'm sure we'll get Matt Prier on that as well to figure out if that was a one-off or if there may be something wrong.
Our friend from the World of Outlaws wants confirmation this is a standard red, not an open red situation.
We have those, by the way.
Yes, we do.
We actually do.
But no, this standard red, you can't touch the cars, and they'll just get this one off of the racetrack. And then we will be able to go and enjoy some pretzel and cheese stick.
You just had a server come up here and give you food?
And it looks good, and I'm fixing to eat it.
The only short track I've ever been to that has a serving staff in the VIP tower. Can't say I'm surprised because they do everything first class here at Jennerstown.
Billy Rebar was stopping everywhere and just making such good relations with everybody. If you want to see us here on camera, take a look here.
Whoops.
There we go. Yep, cheese dip right there. Look at that. And I'm going to enjoy some of that.
No, well, hold on. We're going to give folks a tour of the tower real quick. So this is the only track we go to, folks, and I can't complain. They have a beautiful Coca-Cola refrigerator stocked with product. And what you can't see is right back there, that one is stocked with Stoney's beer and lots of other goodies that they sell here at Jennerstown.
That's the one close to Don Gamble. Wave at us.
Yeah,
Don.
wave, Don.
Don, wave. Yeah.
Host of Rapping on Racing down there.
That's not a coincidence that it's close to dawn. Just saying. Our crew may or may not be partaking in the Stonies at the end of the night. The good news is the crowd here can partake of them all night long. They don't have to work. We do. That's the good news.
Remember, I'm working.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So the Ethan Myers car has been removed from the accident scene, and that car, Lenny, to say the least, is used up.
Freer down there on pit road. Probably go over and get a word with somebody from that area.
And he's everywhere. He's going to Ethan Myers' camp. He's going to Derek Griffith's camp to figure out what happened on the start. Freer's going to be busy, but we like it that way.
He didn't come for anything else. He wants to be a part of it. And we certainly appreciate Matt Freer, the announcer from the Torreon Oil Speedway, and any of the others in there in Michigan and Ohio.
Yeah, been a part of the Berlin Raceway staff the last few years and been all over the place. Midwest Modifieds, works with those folks, and made I think he told me it was a 6-hour drive to get here this morning. Got up at the crack of dawn pretty much and got here by about 1 o'clock. Again, dedication as Cody Connor is headed down to the pit lane, the attention of the Shannon Connor-led crew. Looks like of course, they were pretty much in the bag. They don't have anything to lose by losing this track position. I see Matt walking by, and Cody is right in front of him. Matt, what you see?
Well, the crew's taking a look at the right rear of the car. Crew member reaching behind there, possibly pulling out some debris or maybe adjusting a sway bar or something of that nature over there. Now they're over on the front end. Now they look maybe going up underneath the hood of the 45 machine, the Spring Hill Suites in Latrobe, one of the sponsors on the car. May have acquired some damage in that initial incident as the crew's going over the front end of the 45, guys. And also, real quick, just to add a period to Derek Griffith. Everything's okay with the car. The crew looked at it under the red flag. They gave him the thumbs up. They'll keep him out on the racetrack, guys.
Appreciate the work of Matt Freer down there, and all new restart. No laps completed, but they will go green next time by.
We'll restart and act like that didn't happen. That's how this is going to work. Shy, we're missing one car at Ethan Myers at the back of the field. The Jennerstown Speedway pace truck will make the hard left off the racing surface and through the KRC power steering start zone. Josh Berry and Carson Quapple will lead the field off into turn number 1.
Berry on the inside, but it's Quapple on the outside, using the momentum and the energy. Quapple with the lead to the bumps, but down on the bottom of the racetrack. Josh Berry, the Martinsville winner, he goes to the lead, coming towards start-finish line. Quapple, though, up high, wide, and handsome, and he was first across the stripe. Now Berry leads through corner number 2, but Quapple's having none of it. Right there in the back straightaway, they're door-to-door going into 3. Corey Heim right behind Berry. That's the star from Pocono's run last race. It is Heim chasing Berry.
New leader, lap number 3, Josh Berry to the point. Corey Heim up the second. And Lenny, we see the sparks out of these cars. Low air pressures. Shows you how low they're starting these Hoosier Racing tires. They're dragging the surface here at Jennerstown. But Josh Berry's out front. But Corey Heim, look at him underneath that 96 car. He wants a bid for the race lead.
What is that is sparking there? Are they hitting a pumpkin on the back end of these race cars?
It's hard to say. It could be a suspension mount, could be the cross member, could be a control arm bottoming out, could be something else. Most likely the cross member where the engine and the oil pan are. The lowest part in the frame of one of these cars, Lenny, and we're talking fractions of an inch. When those tire pressures build up, it gets the extra 1/8 of an inch or so off the racetrack, and that's all you need to keep it from bottoming out. As now the pressures are coming up, Josh Berry's starting to look really sporty out front in this one with 5 laps complete.
Berry leading Heim and Quapple. Looks like Nassie in 4th. Top 4 pretty sporty right now. Just starting to click laps off. 6 or so on the board to this point.
And this is kind of what we expected. We expected this race to kind of be racy in the very first few laps and settle out as the race plays out. Controlled cautions are a factor here, so there's going to be some yellows where guys can change tires, guys can add fuel. and guys can race their way through the field like this cat. Bubba Pollard getting by Matt Craig. That's for position number 8. Pollard started 11th, won this race 1 year ago, already has improved 3 spots.
How much will tires grow out here, in a cool air situation on a track that is rough but not terribly rough? How much is how low are you going to go? Where are you going to be when you're at optimal?
I don't ask Wes Weed his tire pressures, and he doesn't tell me his tire pressures. Weeder Nation's pretty much got all the guys down there sorted out. They seem to be the tire experts on these cars. And Weeder and I talk a lot, but he never tells me the specifics about what he's got. Speaking of specifics and more on the tire and fuel story, let's head down to Matt Preer.
And with Ethan Myers, and Ethan unfortunately didn't even make it to the first corner. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I just feel like everyone checked up, and I didn't really get the gist of everyone checking up, and I just ran into the back, and that sent me into the wall.
Unfortunately, the car is done for the night. You okay?
I'm okay. Thank you.
And that's Ethan Myers, unfortunately, out of this event, one of the 2 double-duty drivers here this evening, guys.
Tough break for Ethan Myers, but look at this now, Lenny. Stephen Nasse underneath the Carson Quapple, the Corvette Parts.net ride, has some pressure from Nasse and Sammy Smith. They use all that racetrack off turn 2.
Nasse on the inside in the 51. Trying to catch up to Quapple. View of Nasse doing his racecrafting right now. He knows the Smith is behind him. Really got him under control for the time being. Smith's not likely to try to gouge him out of the way right now. And then how does he play Quapple around the racetrack?
And look at Carson there too as well, by the way. You see the car sparking, but just notice, you're asking how do you play Carson Quapple? When you figure out what he's doing and how to beat him, but Carson is doing something that nobody else is in turn 3. You'll see everybody else kind of drive straighter into the corner. Well, Carson Quapple is kind of coming out right there at that break in the wall, and he's hooking the right rear and kind of arcing the corner in. He said it's smoother than anything else he's tried, but he's seen nobody else doing it. We haven't seen anybody else doing it either. But that turn 3 shot, you can see it clear as day next time we take a look at it. But watch Carson Quapple whenever he happens to go right here. Watch that. See how he's a full car width higher than everybody else. It's working so far. Of course, we're only 15 laps into this one.
Using kind of the shelf to transfer the weight, and then as it transfers, then he throttles up and comes off the corner exactly like you're saying. He's accelerating right at that transfer of weight right there.
Yeah, and like I said, he says in the car the bumps are not as bad that way either. So his shock package can be a little bit off. Last year, Bubba Pollard told us his shock guy won him that race, getting over the bump in turn number 3. Everybody took note of that coming back this year, and their shot guys have done their homework. Carson Quapple, on the other hand, being the traditional racer's racer, says the car might not do what I want it to do. I'm going to make the car do what I want it to do. Changes his line and is able to make the car do something different.
Like what Sammy Smith did, he's got Bond Suss with him this weekend, helping him from Toyota TRD, and just made a really nice move. He was second in this race last year, and just needs one more spot. The guy that won the race putting the pressure on the 14 machine as we see Pollard chasing 14.
That is Chris Davidson out of Texas. Davidson led some laps here 1 year ago. Really liked this place, could not wait to come back here. Of course, Bubba Pollard said the same thing after leading 120-some laps and taking home a big check. But look at Bubba. He's the only guy right now making the outside work and doing it pretty flawlessly in that brand new Port City House car rack.
Run going to save his tires. Is that going to help him because he's not having to cut so hard?
It very well could. Some drivers would tell you that's the case as Bubba gets up the racetrack. But what you got to remember, Gary Crook, Shane Tesh, the entire Port City group, they have dominated the Motor Mountain Masters here the last 3 years.
They have.
And they've got a hefty notebook for Jennerstown Speedway. Put the best driver arguably in the country in your race car, take arguably the best notebook at that racetrack in the country, you're likely to have some success. Don't worry about qualifying. We know how Bubba works. He drives through the field. But the question is everybody else up their game enough?
we're going to find out. Pollard made that Port City announcement just in the last week or 10 days. So this car, no matter how much the announcement has come out and how good it's going to be, they couldn't have gotten a lot of laps on it together.
No, not a whole lot. They tested at Hickory and did some things like that, but Hickory is not Jennerstown Speedway.
I was gonna say, that's way
much different. Speaking of which, we have got about a lap and a half left in our free preview. There's a bunch of you folks watching on social media. In a lap and a half or so, we are going to hit the button. So if you want to see how this race plays out, who takes home $20,000 in the American Freedom 300, you've got to check it out on the bottom of the screen, www.carstour.tv. That's where you got to go. That's where you sign up and subscribe. You get this race, you get the throwback race in about 4 weeks. You get a bunch of cool stuff when you become a member and sign up on carstour.tv.